And good afternoon. This is Hope Roski with the Wedding Show. I can't believe it's already the end of the month, January 31st, and we're going to be going into the Lovers Month, which is February. This is why the Wedding Show is so great. And today we are fortunate enough to have Kat Mcteer, who is a wedding photographer. Welcome to you, Kat. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's great. That's great. Well, wedding photography, I mean, you hear about all different types of photography, but wedding photography, tell me how you got into that little niche.
Well, generally, photography, it's my passion, and I like to photograph people. And I started wedding photography 5 years ago. And so I've been photographing brides and grooms over 5 years, and I love it. I love to help them to be get ready for this wedding. So make sure they're getting like good pictures. Make sure they don't have all they prepared. They know what to do. So I like to work with my couples.
That's great. Now, of course, prior to the wedding is the big engagement, and I'm noticing more that the bride and groom prior, they want to do engagement pictures. Do you do that as well? And if so, describe how that works.
Yes. Me as a photographer, I offer several packages, and so I offer my engagements, photo shoots so I include them in my packages. So I do it for free to make sure we know each other, we know what to expect from each other on the wedding day, so they know my style. They know how I work for them. So and it's always fun. It's always fun. We always have like the blast during the photo shoot, and then I'm so happy to bring my images to them so they can use them during reception time. And I'm also happy to give them any advice what they can do, like help them to print their invitations. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, speaking of having, a good feel for the couple, the environment in which they're taking the pictures is also very important. Do you find most of your photography to be indoor, outdoor, a blend?
I usually like to talk to the couples about where they would like to take these pictures, engagement shoots, because I live in Central Valley, so I take sometimes pictures here in Woodward Park or some other parks, but I know first not too many places. I would say sometimes we go to the beach, we go to the coast.
Oh.
And my favorite spots, it's a Big Sur or Carmel, Monterey area.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
yeah, and,
Well, I know I had a chance to take a look, but I would love for the viewers to take a look at some of your work because it's what you're talking about here. So if we could take a look at some of the pictures up on the screen as to what you tell me about that picture and where it was taken.
So this session, we call this Trash the Dress.
Trash the dress.
Trash the dress.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. It
So
looks like an
most-
expensive dress. Heavens.
Yeah, so in my culture, I was born in Ukraine and I lived in Russia, but we have the tradition on the second day after the wedding, we have Trash the Dress session. And usually we do it in San Francisco area. So this session includes 2 stops where we go take pictures close to the ocean, somewhere in the pier, and then at the beach. It's already the last probably place where we go, and we having fun. And sometimes couples they actually go to the water and they trash the dress.
Well, I can tell because they're sitting on the beach area right there of the bay, and that is just a breathtaking picture right there.
Appreciate that.
How would you describe your photography? Because some say I'm more of a traditionalist. Some people say that, that they're more of a photojournalistic style or fine art. How would you describe your photography?
I like documentary style, classic, and I like fine art. So each image, when I edit, I treat it as a piece of art.
I see.
That's how I deliver my images, because I can't just quick edit and send it out. Here you go, this is your stuff. No. So I treat my images like a piece of art. It's a masterpiece that I'm working. I edit with my stylist. I want my couples to look beautiful, and I want them to show the images to their grandparents, to the kids, and show them, hey, this is I was like 20 years ago. Look at me.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
I want everybody to look really nice.
Well, and what's interesting is that, when we talk about the traditional, you just, the bride, the groom, the in-laws, the family. But now it's like these pictures, some of them become so candid that they're fun, like people jumping up and down in the air and things to that effect, or they're just a lot more casual, but they're wonderful memories. Tell me what it's like to do some of the candid shots. Because that might be, you have to catch somebody up in the air, or timing is everything. Can you describe that?
So I usually ask my couples, okay.
There's one right there.
I know.
Another
This
one.
was so much fun. This was actually episode from the Star Wars movie. So the guys were in a Star Wars, um, theme that moment, and they're like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, fine, perfect. So I'm setting up my camera, and so I can capture that particular jump, for example.
Right.
And we just do it. And I mean, everybody like that.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure they do, because this is so much fun. And it's, a wedding is such a wonderful time. Let me ask you this. There are times that, and this happened to me, that the weather changed. What happens if there's a shift in the weather? How do you go about getting those special moments when you plan for maybe a certain, with the sunset in the back, but now it's maybe raining? How do you go about working around the weather? Because that's important to know too.
Yes, I agree. It's really important. So for me, as a photographer, I already have experience, and if plan A doesn't work, I always have a plan B. You have to have you have to use your critical thinking and just come up with something. So we had the rain start. Okay, what we're gonna do? Well, we knew might rain start, so it actually started. So we just used umbrellas. We just went the rain, and we just took really nice shots under the rain.
And, that's so important to know that you have a photographer that is not only well planned, but also, because, as they say, think on the fly, which means
Yes.
your creativity can take over. You know what you can do as a plan B. And I think that's really important to have. So, how often do you update your portfolio, and how can the viewers take a look at your work?
So there, I update my portfolio quite a bit often. So you can check this on Instagram, because I keep posting different reels after the weddings, pictures. My website, because on my website there are different links where you can go and check my other accounts too, because I'm trying to keep my clients update. They see what I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm editing, or maybe I'm here in Fresno, because I travel a lot, because my wedding's not only in Central Valley. I travel a lot in the coast area, Bay Area, Sacramento, San Jose, so I'm always on the go.
And I think
And,
that's important for viewers to know
Exactly.
too, because many of them do destination weddings, and some people don't, photographers might not enjoy doing the travel, but you're out there saying, yes, I'll do it. And
I'll
I
do it.
think that's wonderful to
Yes,
have that travel. So you were talking about packages. About what are like ballpark figures for certain packages, because budget is so important for people
Exactly.
getting married. So what type of budgets are people looking for in wedding photos that you offer?
Yes, I offer 3 packages, but I would like to let all my brides and grooms know that when you go to the website and you're looking for the wedding photographer, you see the price. Just don't be stranger. Just text or call. Hey, let's talk about this. I have this budget. We all been there when we just
Right.
started. When we were young, so I'm always open to talk about this and work for any budget. We can discuss all these little details, and we can make it work.
I'd like to take a look at some of the other pictures too, because it's interesting. Some of these. Can you tell us a little bit about this here and where that was taken?
This wedding was in Saratoga Springs. It's close to
Ooh.
San Jose.
Yes.
It's a beautiful venue. There are several different levels, and this one has a really old bridge. It's like European style. And it was really interesting way, because she's from India and he is from America. So it was half Indian and half American traditional wedding, but it was so much fun. They both were graduated from Stanford, and this couple were amazing.
Oh,
This-
that's wonderful. Can you tell me about your most interesting experience that you have had so far as a photographer shooting a wedding?
during the wedding.
Yes, what would be the most interesting one that you've had thus far?
Um, well, okay, I'm gonna share this story. We had a we had a wedding.
You don't
here.
have to name names or anything,
I'm
so
not-
you
I'm
can
not.
just.
So there was a situation because we have a timeline that we have to follow because there are so many vendors involved and we have to make sure we follow the timeline. Okay, I know the sunset is here. I have to doing the sunset pictures, and bride and groom know like okay we're doing okay perfect. We are going. Somebody from the guests they just came. They grabbed the groom and the bride and just dropped them to the pool. So,
Oh, my goodness,
at
I
that
can't even
moment, I
imagine.
know I'm very spontaneous photographer, but at that particular moment, I didn't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, it was supposed to take pictures like right now, and she is in the pool, wet, and I was speechless. I didn't know what I'm gonna do. So, I was so glad I had an assistant, and she said, "Let's just take pictures like that. Wet. This is a great memory. Let's just take pictures." I'm like, yeah, that's right. So they came back and we went and we just were taking pictures. They were wet, and I mean it was like I don't know, it was funny, but in one moment it wasn't funny to me.
Right. Well, and that's, like I said, that's something great about talking to you as a wedding photographer is that you have that ability to be flexible.
Yes.
You do sometimes have, because people order a package and you have a set schedule, but it's nice to know you have that flexibility to move into a situation. Those pictures right here
This is
are
Carmel Valley.
breathtaking.
Carmel Valley, yes, it's beautiful. I had several weddings in Carmel last summer, and because it's too hot here, but in people celebrating by the coast, and it was beautiful. The sunset, you can see the whole valley, just breathtaking.
Oh, absolutely. And the colors, you pick up the vibrancy of the colors, and I just think there's something special. And you capture the facial expressions, you get the feel of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you would like to share with viewers that it would be important as they continue to move forward?
Yes, I just want to tell all the brides and grooms, just be yourself, just be open. Talk about what would you like, what's your vision. Because for me, when I look at my clients, I always have a vision what will work for them. And I can always suggest what we need to do, what we can do, how we can maybe can be dressed up, what colors will maybe will work for you. Or, because I've seen so many different weddings, different layouts, different traditions, I always have I can suggest something that will actually work for you. And I'm so happy to help them. To make the whole wedding day to go so smooth that they will remember this day forever. Because usually weddings, it's a chaos and some delay can happen.
Right.
So I want to make sure my couples, they are confident, they remember this day, and they just having fun.
Well, Kat Mcteer, I can tell you it has been a pleasure working with you. How can our viewers get in touch with you? What is the best way for them to reach out to you?
They can reach out to me through my website and my phone right here, right down below. So just email me or text me. I'm always open to talk to you guys.
Kat Mcteer, thank you so much, and we'll be
Thank you for
back
having me
in
here.
just a little bit.